Fowler here with TennisPracticePrograms.com, helping you outwit, out-hit, and outplaying your opponent. Today we're going to work on the overhead and getting more power on the overhead. So the common problem that I see is when people hit their overhead, they end up hitting it too low on the racket and very tentative on the overhead. When you're making contact with the overhead, you want to be hitting higher on the racket. You don't want to be hitting right on the middle of the racket. I want the ball to hit higher on the racket, so then the ball will come down, and I'm also going to get more power up there because the racket snaps a little bit. That's called torque. So that racket is going to snap a little bit more up higher. So I got 3 great ways for you to practice hitting that higher contact. The first thing that you can do, and this has been a really helpful tool for me, I've had some good success with my students, is use the sweet area racket. The head is smaller than a regular racket. The length is the same, but you notice that the contact is going to be at a higher point, and that's exactly what I want to do on the overhead. The second thing that you can do, probably easier for everybody, is to put a little bit of tape on the contact. Notice where the tape is. I put tape on both sides. This is Gorilla Tape, but you can use KT tape, anything that's going to stick and stay on your strings. So when you're practicing, you will hear it when it hits that tape versus when it hits a little lower and it hits the string. So a really simple but very effective way to practice that higher contact. The third way is listen for the sound of the ball when it hits your racket. When it hits up higher, you're going to hear a higher sound versus if it goes a little lower, it will be a little bit deeper sound. So when you're practicing, you can hear that little pingier sound on your racket. So that's also a good clue and a great way to practice your overhead. To review, you can buy the sweet area racket, put tape on your normal racket, or use your racket after you've practiced one of those 2 things and listen for the sound, and you hear that nice high pitch when you hit the overhead. Okay, I'll see you next time.